Chapter 1. Close relationships will either improve your life or slow you down. Relationships are our most significant source of happiness and trauma. People are generally happy and more likely to succeed in their endeavors when in happy relationships. The opposite is also true. A disastrous relationship can limit you in so many ways. Choose your significant other wisely if you want to enjoy long-term success. This phenomenon applies to all close relationships, but it's most common in romantic relationships. And the reason is simple. Romantic relationships are the closest two humans can be to each other. Seeing how relationships affect our lives, it's important to learn how to maintain healthy ones. Part of maintaining a healthy relationship is getting rid of anything that may cripple it. Anxiety is one of those things, and that's the focus of this summary. As you continue, you'll learn what anxiety means for you and your significant other and how to handle it when it comes up. Negative emotions and jealousy are also things that affect intimate relationships. In later chapters, you will learn practical principles for managing them both personally and in your partner. Later in the summary, we'll talk about attachment styles and how effective listening can transform your relationships. Chapter 2. It's okay to experience anxiety in a relationship, provided you tackle it as it comes. Relationships between newlyweds or people who have been dating for a long time will almost certainly turn sour at some point, and one of the major factors responsible is anxiety. This emotion can be disastrous when one of the partners begins to experience it. Anxiety can make you scared that your partner doesn't like you anymore. It will make you believe they've lost interest in you because of how you've changed, and that they are now interested in someone better. This emotion will make you suspicious of your partner's every move. You will begin to see clues from the things they do and happenings around you that make you believe they don't like you. For example, when a woman starts to spend extra hours in the office to meet a deadline, an anxious partner might take it to mean that she's seeing someone else. Anxiety at its peak will make you start stalking your partner, checking their computer devices suspiciously, and always wanting to know what they are doing all the time. It's normal for anxious feelings to develop at some point in your relationship with others. Whichever the case, do not let your anxiety get the best of you. You need to learn how to control it. Else, it might just turn out to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, even when it wasn't real in the first place, because no one likes to be accused of things they didn't do. There are strategies you can use to enable you to communicate your feelings to your partner so you can overcome your insecurities and enjoy your relationship. You'll find all of that in this summary. You may not be anxious yourself, but having an anxious partner is just as tiring. But you need to understand that anxious partners don't do what they do intentionally. If you're in that category of having partners who are anxious about the relationships, you will also learn the proper response and posture to take so you won't end up hurting your partner or ruining the relationship. Chapter 3. Insecurity is behind most bouts of relationship anxiety that couples experience. Feeling inadequate or unworthy is a significant reason for relationship anxiety. Again, this feeling can arise from a real circumstance, or it might just be the product of imaginary fear. When the emotion is valid, it means there is something your partner is doing that is feeding your insecurity. But you won't know on the surface, so you have to investigate your thoughts to find out the source of your insecurity. When you discover it's resulting from something your partner is doing, you need to talk to them about it. When your reason for being insecure is valid, you need to talk to your partner about it. The way you communicate your feelings to them is crucial. It's unhealthy for your relationship if you outrightly blame your partner or make baseless accusations. You have to restrain yourself from acting that way. Instead, you want to be as calm and collected as possible. Most people find it hard to communicate their anxiety for a whole lot of personal reasons. Therefore, if you notice physical, behavioral, or emotional signs of anxiety, you can help your partner by lovingly asking them to open up to you. When an anxious person is explaining himself, the best you can do is have a listening ear. Try to listen without being defensive. Chapter 4. Your attachment style can either build or end your relationship. Attachment styles are formed early in childhood from the kind of relationship we had with our primary caregiver. Understanding your attachment style and that of your partner can help you know them better, which in turn will strengthen your relationship. Psychologists have categorized attachment styles into 4 different categories. Try to identify yours and your partner's in the list below. Secure attachment. Individuals who form this attachment were secure as children. Their relationship with their parents was such that they saw their parents as a strong base from which they could launch out to the world. These individuals are secure in their relationships. They support their partners and aren't afraid to ask for help when they need it. Anxious preoccupied attachment. People with this attachment pattern are always looking for their partners to complete them because they somehow don't feel complete without their significant other. In many cases, these people suffer an identity crisis and are rarely ever satisfied in the relationship. Dismissive avoidant attachment. People in this category often deny the importance of having a loved one around and can easily detach from the people they love. This is the category of people who seek pseudo-independence. They are the ones who would reply, "I don't care," when you threaten to leave them because of their abusive behavior. Fearful avoidant attachment. These people live in an ambivalent state most of the time. Deep down, they believe that to connect with your partner, you need to get close to them. But at the same time, they are also afraid of too much closeness because they don't want to be hurt. They often experience emotional storms since they find it difficult to be intimate with their partners about the things they need. When there is a secure attachment pattern, a person is confident and self-possessed and is able to easily interact with others, meeting both their own and another's needs. Teresa Miller. As earlier noted, attachment styles are formed in childhood and can be altered by a past relationship. For example, someone can move from secure to a fearful avoidant attachment if their previous partner cheated on them or did something else that now makes it difficult for them to trust others. The reverse is also possible if you meet the right partner. But it doesn't matter what attachment style you have right now. Just know that becoming a secure partner is still possible. Anxious people should learn to communicate effectively with their partners. It helps reduce the anxiety. Chapter 5. Effective listening is a skill that will help you overcome conflicts easily. Conflicts in relationships are normal. It doesn't matter how long you two have been together. Something will always rise that will result in disputes once in a while. It isn't easy to put two humans together and expect peace all through their stay. A major reason conflicts arise in intimate relationships is that both partners are being their real selves and are open and vulnerable to one another. When two people are being real, it's hard not to have disagreements because no two people are ever the same. Conflicts in relationships help you learn more about each other. However, heated conflicts after being together for a while are abnormal. The heated arguments you experience in your relationship are supposed to last for a while, but not forever. Over time, you will get to know each other on an intimate level, and this knowledge should help you resolve your differences easily. This is true in theory, but isn't so in reality. If it were true, nearly 50% of all marriages in the US wouldn't end in divorce. The reality is that some people don't possess the skill or knowledge to handle difficult situations when they arise. The causes of conflict go much deeper and are rooted in our feelings of emotional security or lack thereof. If you always have heated arguments in your relationship, before putting all the blame on your partner, you want to make sure you have learned the skills necessary for conflict resolution. One of such powerful skills is effective listening. Several emotions are involved when people are arguing, and people will continue arguing if they don't feel heard. The best thing you can do when your partner is angry is to keep quiet and listen. It's a hard thing to do, but you will be glad you did, and it gets better with time. Soon, you'll realize that you won't find it difficult to shut up and wait for the other person to finish talking before you speak. When listening, you want to make sure you're trying to understand what your partner is communicating by going beyond their voice to interpret the nonverbal cues they give off. When you listen well to what your partner is saying, you are actually saying that you care. Teresa Miller. Did you know? A 2014 University of North Carolina at Greensboro study found that American women who cohabitate or get married at 18 have a 60% divorce rate. But women who wait until 23 to make either of those commitments have a divorce rate around 30%. Chapter 6. Every relationship goes through 5 stages. Don't be apprehensive if you don't feel what you were feeling some time ago. There are 5 stages to every long-term relationship. If you're committed, engaged, or married, you need to pay attention to this chapter. The 5 relationship stages described in this summary are inevitable, and you might fall into the trap of believing something is wrong with you or your partner when you move from one stage to the other. Being armed with this new information would help you understand your relationship and protect it from being stuck in a toxic state. Let's consider each of the 5 stages. Romantic stage. This is usually the first stage in every relationship. It lasts anywhere between 2 months and 2 years. This is the stage where couples get high on the in-love feeling. When you're in that first stage, your partner is a perfect, flawless human being. This is perhaps where the phrase "love is blind" comes from. Power struggle stage. As you come off the emotional high of the romance stage, you begin to notice the nasty things about your partner, and you start to see how different both of you really are. These differences will lead to a power struggle because everyone will be trying to force the other person to be their ideal partner. Most relationships are destroyed in this stage. To keep yours, you two have to learn to agree to disagree to find common ground where both partners would be happy. Stability stage. This is an offshoot of the second stage. Here, the couples aren't surprised by their differences anymore. They are now trying to live with them and be as happy as possible. Commitment stage. Ideally, this is the stage where you get married, but unfortunately, many couples tie the knot in the romance stage and then regret it when they get to the power struggle stage. In the commitment stage, couples are happy with their deepening relationship. They're now beginning to find a balance between love, belonging, power, freedom, and fun. Here, they begin to reconnect with the external relationships and commitments they neglected in the romance stage. Co-creation stage. This is the last stage. Not all couples make it here, but those who do have now become a formidable team of two. They are ready to take on life projects such as raising kids, starting a family business, or dealing with a terminal illness, together as one. The romance stage is temporary, but its essence is to give the couple a glimpse of what their union could look like if they work at it. The speed at which couples move from one stage to the other differs a lot. It's normal to move back and forth between the stages. Conclusion. Committed relationships can become boring over time. What do you do if the spark dies and you start losing interest in your partner? First, understand that it's a perfectly normal experience. It doesn't mean you don't love them, and it's definitely not an occasion to start cheating on them. Usually, this happens when the couple is married or has dated for so long, they start to think they've gone past the days of going out on dates and trying to look good for one another. It's best to debunk this mindset very quickly because the best way to regain the lost spark is to recreate your dating days. Remember those days you first met? Remember how you went on dinner dates very often? How you went to the movies every weekend and attended concerts hand in hand? You want to relive the exact same thing all over again. Step out of your norm to do something fun and exciting. Go on dates. If you don't have little kids, plan out time for just the both of you to travel. It's very easy these days. All you have to do is look up the internet for affordable Airbnb accommodations in places you would like to visit and explore. Try this. If you feel disconnected from your partner, take out time to make yourself look good for him or her. They would appreciate it, and it would help you reconnect on physical and emotional levels.